Our first series, 3 more BO3s coming up on DreamLeague 2. We're just getting started over here. It is 4:20 a.m. Mountain Time. It's getting dank over here in the studio as we get Fnatic versus Liquid. Game 2 underway. Of course, Fnatic is down 0-1.
This is what we were talking about. We didn't maybe necessarily like the Fnatic draft. We want maybe to see some changes. I don't know. I personally think a Morphling ban would not be surprising to me.
No. We mentioned it, but then it just never came up, the IO.
Yes,
the Tiny was removed, and then we just didn't have IO in the entire draft. So possibly an option here for either Fnatic or Liquid.
Fnatic's turn to ban.
Playing. So it's interesting that it's not getting touched, and the same could be said for Liquid as well.
Look how early they take care of that puck this time. That was the very last ban from Liquid in the previous game, and now they take it out in the first phase. Obviously very versatile, pretty good hero in the off lane for Ohio, could also be in the mid for Abed, and now that just kind of opens up that morph lane too. I wonder how early Liquid are willing to pick this thing. The only problem is he has no flexibility. I mean, sure, you might be able to send him mid in certain matchups, but you can't guarantee it, especially with the first pick.
I mean, I'm not sure they'll go with the Morphling again. Fnatic could just ban it right here if they're really scared by it. I like the ban from the Broodmother. That makes sense. The Shadow Demon ban coming out as well for Fnatic, just not wanting to play up against that hero, not wanting to have to deal with when any illusion-based type thing is going on for Liquid, but... Tiny's available. Do they pick it first too? We'll see. They won't.
Oh no, he got banned, my friend. He was the very first ban. But yeah, the Wyvern, very good. Shadow Demon removed. I think she's still the best 5 overall. Obviously, Liquid have done some Shadow Demon strats, much like OG have been playing quite a bit recently, so they're kind of onto that hero. But the vast majority of teams find Wyvern to be the king or the queen, as it were. Look at that crown.
Even before those changes too, and the last, like, I don't know if it was the last mini patch, the patch that was right after Dota Pit, I think. Hero was super strong. Cold Embrace, very good. Winter's Curse, I mean, just in general, strong. It's also interesting because we see the hero played in the offlane too. It's very flexible. Oh, they didn't actually ban this hero.
Yeah, that was the first phase. God tier Ohio hero.
Yeah, this is great for him. And then we'll go for the DJ Tusk again, despite not having the best performance in Game 1. Although I don't think that was necessarily a him issue, more of a we're getting kind of rolled issue from Liquid.
Isn't that kind of fascinating that they banned the Ogre instead of the Beastmaster? That's really interesting to me, as to how they feel like that hero can help Fnatic to, like, maybe because they play some weird tankier heroes. Like, a lot of times that Bristleback or that Medusa was being enabled by the Ogre. Like, giving it that Bloodlust takes a hero that's balanced to be very tanky but not do a lot of damage, and kind of tweaks that by adding a lot of damage onto the hero. Plus, it's another really annoying and abusive kind of position that's hard to handle. So instead, they leave the Beastmaster and they protect themselves with the first phase winner Wyvern, because that hero's super good against Beastmaster. Like, absolutely destroys the hero. His inner beast aura is going to help annihilate his own teammates. And then we have the legendary Matumba Man Lone Druid.
Yeah, this is quite the hero. There's the Matumba Man Lycan, the Broodmother, and then, of course, the Matumba Man Lone Druid. And, I mean, this is a bit dangerous in terms of taking towers, in terms of getting an advantage. This Lone Druid seems like it might be pretty strong here for Team Liquid.
It's just the playbook. This is like the Matumba Man Broodmother / Lone Druid kind of strategy, where he has flexibility in terms of the laning stage. He's not on a sacrificial hero. And it kind of tends to put Miracle on maybe more of a playmaker. You might see him on something like that, like Puckish, Queen of Painish kind of style. Obviously, Puck's removed, but something like that, where now Miracle gets to be this kind of insane space maker and show off some of his more flashier skill set.
10 seconds.
I think it is in the realm of comfort for Fnatic, though. We talked about them relying on these tanky heroes, and Beastmaster Tusk certainly fit the bill. I'm excited to see the Beastmaster. I think is he still kind of first ban material across the board? Is that fair, or is he come down in the ranks a little bit?
No, he's up there.
He's still that big beast.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, that level 7, man. You just roar somebody, you bring out the big creep. Terrifying.
Another Smasher just suddenly comes out of nowhere and
Although, Yeah, that has slowed down a bit because we see more levels in the axes now. So it feels like people have shifted over there because of the tweak. So the hero's definitely not as strong as he was at Dota Pit, I would say. But yeah, he's still way up there.
And we do see the occasional max of wild axes. I don't think that'll happen in this game, but against something like if a Tide Hunter were to come out, we've seen Beastmasters dominate that kind of 1v1 where you just axe. And that is a Warlock for Fnatic, though. They have some serious team fight coming out on this dire side.
Well, that's interesting. A Warlock. So possible dual offlane with the Warlock and the Beastmaster. Maybe we'll see a sustainable position 1 for Envy, like a Lifestealer or Lycan kind of thing. And then this will be able to try and pressure down onto that safe lane.
So, yeah, the dual aggressive offlane. Not to mention, like I said, you have good team fight. You have good sustain. It makes you beefier because of the Shadow Word, I suppose, which is what we've been talking about a lot.
Yeah, the whole having the golems up against the Winter's Curse. So being able to try and create some sort of a counterplay into that so they can't capitalize and position themselves well during it. Obviously, it's not going to do too much in terms of stopping the damage that Beastmaster and allies will be inflicting onto whoever gets cursed, but we'll have to see.
Not seeing this hero in quite some time. This Warlock. I don't even know if he's being picked in competitive. I didn't see it at... Obviously, I didn't get to see much of the Perfect World Masters, but...
Coddle? Ooh.
Well,
wow.
He's still good team fight, right? All the same things you remember from Warlock. Big, giant ultimate to help break up team fights. Good push to punish with the golem afterwards. It fits the bill for sustainability. A great laner, but does have some of those issues that if you have the burst damage with a hero like Night Stalker, he can get picked on in the lane.
5 seconds.
That is interesting, though. The Night Stalker for GH. I was thinking the Keeper of the Light, to be honest. I was kind of feeling more on that route. Maybe give that to GH, but the Night Stalker obviously adds a lot of roam potential because they already have the Winter Wyvern, so you would have been pretty passive if you had Wyvern and Coddle. But we've all seen this Coddle Lone Druid kind of strat where they hit that Ag's timing. They're so good at it, and they just destroy your whole base. But now he'll be hunting in the back lines to grab that Warlock. He's going to be flying over the trees, silencing him up, and just like pummeling on top of him. Also a natural urn builder, so he can still help with a lot of their own push if they get a little bit of an early game lead here. So good start, and yeah, not shocking at all, of course, with the Medusa band out. I thought that Razor band was going to be the Bristle instead, but they're more concerned about having the static link, I guess, this game.
So Liquid could see it. I guess, like you mentioned, they're really not as concerned of the Bristleback. I mean,
Doom is hype.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Get the Silver Edge hero. Pretty nice. Shut down someone else with the Doom.
And then Bristle just has a rough game.
Yeah. Could also be a Mind Control Faceless Void, or would also be okay.
Ooh, yeah. He's played that a lot recently, too, even in Midas mode. I really liked it. Batrider instead is going to be the choice, which should be his hero, I guess.
Yep. Likely. I mean, what do we have? A Miracle Batrider in Midas mode? That was pretty fun.
That was hype.
Maybe. I mean, it's not outside the realm, honestly. This could easily be like a mid Batrider or something like that. I think S4 was also playing it relatively recently. I think that was Midas mode too, but...
Yes.
Oh.
So, I mean, we'll see. Like you said, probably going to be mind control in the off lane, but this is it sets you up pretty well for Liquid in terms of their team fight, in terms of getting pickoffs. My real question is, it's really what is the Miracle hero? What is the Abed heroes? I think my biggest question. What do they pick in this mid lane for Abed, for Fnatic?
Currently, the lanes are super flexible because they have the Batrider and the Lone Druid. Like we said, Batrider mid is definitely a little bit more back than it used to be. Lone Druid can be in the mid, the safe lane, or even the off lane. You don't want to send anyone in a 1v1 versus Lone Druid or Batrider. And this is one of the things that's super good for your draft if you don't have the final pick. You want to create two problem lanes that Fnatic can't just like find some crazy solution and like win all 3 lanes or something like that. I think with a Lone Druid and a Batrider, that seems super unlikely. So you have a combination of Batrider and Night Stalker possibly working together to create a kill lane against someone. You have just this obnoxious Lone Druid mid who you can't gank. Maybe like even the Tusk with like Snowball and Shards might not be able to force him down. So Liquid kind of, even though they don't have the last pick, they've still created some situation where either Miracle or Matubba Man should get pretty good early game farm.
What do you think about potential position 1 Venge for Fnatic? Is that too crazy? Take something to counter the Batrider. They've already got a pretty high tempo lineup. Just seal the deal with locking in the lanes and putting on a lot of pressure.
I would think that this will probably end up being a Warlock and Bristleback playing into whatever they want to shut down on Liquid. I could see like Envy and the Warlock working together, maybe giving Ohio the solo safe lane. And so I would guess that they should be going for something a little bit more risky for Abed, like the Invoker. That's a good example with that ban there. Someone that can abuse that space, because with a Tusk and a Beastmaster and a Warlock and a Bristle, they should be able to drive away a lot of that attention from the mid lane and give Abed some space.
That's a fair point. Now that
Like even the Storm?
Gyrocopter,
Oh man,
a lot of AoE for Liquid.
Yeah.
Really good team fight here.
I think so too. I think it's a great hero to try to get this game going early on in terms of taking a good team fight or two and maybe
5
trying to bring down
seconds
this Bristol
remaining.
back. But there won't be that silver edge carry like you talked about. I don't think anyway for Liquid against the Bristleback. Not that
We
they
might
need
see
it.
Gyro get it, honestly.
You think so?
It's possible.
Possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
a little funky, but it's possible. I was kind of thinking Beastmaster could be mid, but I guess that is really crazy.
I feel like he's
But,
better
yeah.
in just a 1v1 lane or something on like the
I
side.
think you're right. I think you're totally right about that.
So
What is
if
the pick
I'm-
here, though?
If I'm Fnatic, I'm assuming that it's the Lone Druid mid. That's at least what it looks like for now.
Yep.
And
There
Storm.
it is.
It's the
I
Storm.
wanted this last game, but this game
Yeah.
I think works out as well for Fnatic. I actually like it a lot.
It
fits
feels
the build
worrisome that
so.
their draft is so predictable. Is that like
Yeah.
it's not a good sign when we're calling a lot of these things. You know, I always feel bad for a team when I know a lot of their picks. I don't know. Obviously, they're confident with it, and that's what they like. And it's better to be doing things that you've been playing a lot than to do stuff you haven't played at all. But I feel like a lot of teams surprise me with picks, and I go, "Oh, that's like really smart. Like they must be scrimming with this, and like they've practiced this kind of stuff." But for Fnatic, it feels like it's all just laid out. You know?
Yeah. I mean, there is a comfort thing, I suppose, but
it goes both ways. I think Trent is on the right track, though. Like with Liquid, for example, they'll pull out different picks very regularly. You know, like pretty. Oh, is he going to pick Slark? No way. Miracle picks Slark. Okay, Miracle's playing Slark. Right? We saw that at Dota Pit a lot, where they really have a high propensity for variation. And
Yes.
Fnatic, it seems like that's not quite the case. Seems like an okay game for the Storm Spirit, though. Obviously, Bat Rider, Night Stalker, pretty good at locking down the Storm. But Abed has some options here, and I think with good positioning, this could end up being an alright game.
Yeah, and I'm not being totally fair to Fnatic either. Like they were playing Envy Beastmaster a couple months ago, so I guess there was a chance that could have been him this game, and maybe they mixed up with some like last pick thing, and they've done Envy Bat Rider. They've kind of mixed up between him and Ohio in the past, so perhaps they weren't comfortable with a lot of the mix-up that they were doing, and that obviously they've made it to a couple lands now. So whatever they're doing is certainly working better than what they had before.
yeah.
And it looks like it'll be exactly what we were talking about in terms of laning.
Yeah, I think I will say.
Oh, except it is the mid. Well, with the gyro pick, yeah, I would agree with the mid gyro over the mid Matumba man.
Yeah, that makes sense. I will say though, the Warlock pick was a bit of a surprise. I mean, yeah, all the other heroes are comfort heroes for Fnatic, I think, but Pilot Eye playing the Warlock was not something I expect because it was a hero that I haven't really seen a lot of recently.
It used to be a big one for Pilot Die though. Like
Yeah.
I remember back in the phase of Warlock, he was one of the most consistent. So, it makes sense in terms of like creating two strong side lanes. These are some pretty obnoxious heroes to play against.
30
And they're still going to have to deal with the Lone Druid. They're going to have to deal with the Gyro mid, like you talked about, which is always frightening, especially Max's homing missile. You have GH roaming around, especially when it gets to the nighttime. So, Highlight Die, I don't know if he's going to really be able to help Envy. He might have to sit mid, maybe for Abed for early. I mean, I don't even know if that's the case. I think they might just want to sit bottom with Pilot Die. I'm not sure how you deal with some of these lanes.
Yeah, I think Pilot Eye will just be bottom. It looks like in terms of Liquid's drafts, I would try and focus down the Lone Druid as much as possible and try and delay his Midas. That would be the best thing in my opinion. And it feels like Liquid are just going to be giving tons of attention to the mid lane just to make sure Miracle is a really good start. And when you look at Liquid's draft, we want to see what can GH do. Like, what lanes can he accomplish something in? Top lane, not really. Maybe if there's a root at level 5, you can try and make a rotation. So he should just be playing between these two lanes. And currently, they don't have the best vision. They can see both ramps here. So that is pretty good, actually. They also have little sight lines in here. So Fnatic should be aware of when Night Stalker's roaming down.
Yeah, they need some good vision. Keep an eye on them, and DJ will sit mid now for Abed. So it'll be the Warlock bottom as you predicted, but I think DJ's going to start here at the very beginning of this game. But even so, I think he might rotate out and go top, like he says, putting attention But they will have the Arctic Burn. DJ might get caught. The Ice Shards
Very
nicely
nice.
done for DJ. That'll keep him alive. He was getting chased down and not enough damage to get either of those kills.
He's been practicing his little turnaround shards.
I mean, DJ, despite like having a rough game last game, he did a couple of really great shards throughout the extent of the game. And I mean, with this type of hero, with this type of player, the high skill cap, it should be pretty good for DJ, even in this game.
Yeah, and with them bringing both supports mid early on, that meant that DJ is forced to be there. Obviously, he wants to give a lot of space to Abed in the first couple levels too, but that means that top lane, it's Ohio all alone. He's playing under the tower. He's been using these axes, spamming them out as much as he can, but he's being wrapped on pretty hard by GH.
Yeah, I mean, look how deep he is. He's pretty much under the tier 1 tower. Might be able to eat his way through. He has a Quelling Blade to get out of trouble, but GH is finally going to run it. It's just level 1 Void, which isn't that much damage, and he already has a salve and 7
Oh yeah, he's got 5 armor too, so like,
Yeah.
despite the positioning, GH is just like, I mean, there's a ward too, and you still see how aggressive Ohio's playing. Like, he knew Night Stalker was there.
So, I mean, Ohio's feeling pretty good. Like you mentioned, this is one of his best heroes in terms of what he can get done. This will leave the Mind Control Batrider up against the Envy Bristleback in bottom lane. Envy does the wand, obviously. This is kind of an interesting matchup. Envy's doing pretty well already, but I think Mind Control should still be fine, more than likely, in terms of getting last hits, maybe?
Yeah, battle of the spammers. They both have wands. It's pretty awkward. It just gets into like a kill fight, right? Where like once one hero commits, the other commits. If you start stacking quills, I'm gonna start stacking napalm.
Yeah.
So one hero dies and the other one lives at like 10% HP.
It's going to be a bit of a battle, like you mentioned. We'll see. They will have some more supports coming in, like Hiroki is rotating down bottom. He'll help out. Pylai Dai, of course, has the Shadow Word, which is kind of the X factor in this engagement. Pylai Dai might get caught. He has stick charges, 4 sticky napalm stacks, and he might die here. This is going to be your first blood going the way of Liquid, and now Envy's also in trouble. He will stick up Mind Control. He's got plenty of wand charges himself. The snowball coming in. Mind Control, he's going to use those wand charges, but it might not keep him alive. The Shadow Word and one more auto attack are ticking him down. But again, it is first blood going for Liquid, and that's a big kill, as it's Mind Control that picks it up especially.
Yep, good rotation from Kuro down there, and then it does at least make some space for Abed mid. He's 18-5 now. It's looking pretty good.
That is a great start. I mean, he is having a great time in this mid lane for now.
Top lane, Matama Man 4.25. So that level 5, that's where we're gonna look for the forcing out of the roots. See if he can just drive Ohio away or create an opportunity for GH to roam in. And I'm not even talking about Curl roaming it too, right? He is a Wyvern, so it's pretty obnoxious as well.
Yeah, he's just sitting bottom for now. It's turned into a try versus try down in the bottom lane, which could be pretty interesting given the heroes down here. They're going to look for Envy. They have Shadow Word. No, it's on cooldown for 3. Good snowball safe coming out, but Firefly is going to do a lot of damage. Envy still getting 5 stick charges. Shadow Word coming in, not going to save him, and DJ might be next. The Firefly, the Ice Shards, it will not save him in Mind Control. We'll find a double kill, maybe gets the triple with Fire coming in. It's going to be Kuro that gets the last hit coming out. It's 3 dead in this bottom lane for Fnatic, and it's just too much damage, too much sustain to deal with here as Liquid run them all down.
Oh, meanwhile mid.
Maybe they get the kill on Miracle. Snowball. Ice Shards is going to come through Miracle. He's up the homing missile. They need one more auto attack. Abed, he's going to use the
Fairy Fire
for Miracle. Keeps him alive. Ice Shards, he's going to salve up, and Miracle probably lives now. Oh, man, the Fairy Fire coming in. That's huge. Also getting the homing missile onto Abed just to make sure he can't chase any further. That's a really big kill. Just going by the wayside for Fnatic.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Miracle saw him place the ward. I think there was an uphill hit there, so it's possible that they're going to be aware of that as well and get that dewarded.
Yeah. In the meantime, they continue to put more pressure on Envy bottom lane. Now, I mean, I thought it was going really well for Fnatic at the first few minutes, but all of a sudden, that 3 hero kill down bottom makes things a lot more difficult if you're Fnatic, I think.
A lot of this will also be relying on Ohio. DJ, man, DJ's really good at these Ice Shard plays. I thought he was going to snowball up here from the vision from Ohio, and then he just shards up. I'm like, damn.
He's just making stylish plays, man. That's what he does, DJ. All style.
Yeah, it's a little harder to do that trick now, too. But the big thing this game, I think, is you have Ohio who doesn't need Blink, right? He can just make a play once he hits 6, whereas Mind Control, not only is he only level 4.5, so he's a bit behind the Beastmaster, he needs better itemization to actually make plays happen. So we're going to be looking for Ohio to be the person to kind of pick this game back up for Fnatic, and then in combination with the Bristleback, actually get some buildings down.
I mean, level 6 is going to be a huge turning point for this Beastmaster for Fnatic. They want to get Aurora. Good Savage Roar, speaking of which, comes down into Ohio. He's actually mid-axis cast. DJ also the snowball ready. So Matuma Man, he still has 30 last hits. He's got 10 denies. He's playing really aggressively. He wants to get a root. This bear is so tanky, so tough to deal with at this point. And now another wrap coming in. GH has a ward. He'll see DJ. The Void will come in. That actually might keep DJ alive because they weren't really ready to set up their 4-kill at the very least.
Yeah, and he's just been abusing these bounty runs. GH keeps getting these too, so every time he's there ready for it.
3. Yeah, nighttime, not that bad. Nighttime's going to end, though, in about a minute 45. DD rune will be picked up by Miracle. They have a couple of stacks around. I think just one stack, actually, for Mind Control in this jungle. One of the hard camps being stacked up. Now, Abed's going to get chased down. He doesn't have his Ball Lightning to work with, but instead they're going to turn on DJ.
Miracle's insane.
Yeah, he's just...
I mean, he's got a DD, but damn,
tower.
dude.
He's running to the Uber cliff. DJ is on the run. The snowball save will keep him alive. The call down coming in. He still has a double damage rune. Can they do anything with this? They still don't have the Primal Roar, and now Pile Die coming in as well. The Fatal Bond's Miracle. He really wants this kill. Ohio needs to be careful with the Rocket Barrage. He still has the double damage rune, and Miracle gets a double. Can they get a triple? Abed's going to be under the tower. GH also diving along with him. The Ice Shards will just narrowly miss. DJ's got a snowball to work with. Can he get there in time? The vision. They have it, but it's not going to be enough. That is insane. That's just quite the dive for Miracle.
That was shocking, honestly. I'm a little bit taken aback here. That was crazy. What a good play. Just abusing. Look at the Dire Courier. See, look at all these blades of attack, dude. This is terrifying.
Like
that's a lot of phase boots. They're about to be a very speedy team. But what an abuse, right?
Changes to the side shot. No phase boots in the side shot anymore.
Yeah, it's hilarious. There's all these phase boots flying out. But Miracle just abusing the Storm's not 6. So he starts running in. He's like, Storm cannot do anything. I'm going to kill anyone in my path. Ends up with an easy, free double kill. Suddenly, he's 7.5. Like, Miracle just got such a crazy boost. He just dives so deep. Oh, it's crazy to think that, like, any level, like level 6 on the Beastmaster, Miracle would have died. If there was, like, any sort of stun on maybe the Bristleback or someone, and he was able to TP and do something, Miracle just, like, finds his abuse. It's just so smart to see that play. It's so rare you'll see someone dive that far this early in the game.
I mean, it's before Primal Roar. The Beastmaster still was level 5 while that fight was happening. If he has that particular ability, things might have turned differently. They even rotated a lot of heroes for Fnatic. But Liquid were there to back him up. It felt like Miracle was on his own for the first minute or so, and then the rest of his team was diving in deep. It is nighttime, of course, or rather it was when he was getting that kill, which makes things a lot easier. But all of a sudden, there is a 4K lead, Trent, at 8.5 minutes into this game. That is significant.
Yeah, we just have to wait for that. Again, level 7. So he's going to be built for it. We're talking about how there's been a lot more leveling of the axes lately. Ohio, not going to be the case this time. He will get the 4 points in the Call of the Wild. He'll be ready for the summoning, and there it is right now. So 40 seconds until that'll be prepped. And we'll see if he goes hunting with the Tusk. But there's already smoke happening down bottom. Tusk and the Warlock, they're going to move through some vision here from Liquid. So this is going to help them. Liquid might not be ready.
The Void comes in, and I don't think they're going to find this. They went a different direction. And
yeah, they want him to come back.
Yeah. And Liquid are just out of here. They got a huge stack for Mind Control. He's not really concerned. He's third in the net worth. This smoke might not accomplish that much for Fnatic. They want something. The snowball's got to come in. DH trying to get away with the space boots. This should be a kill, and it will be Envy taking him down. It is a support, but it is still a kill going the way of Fnatic.
Meanwhile, Miracle, though, just in the mid lane, black handling down waves. Another one's coming through. And Envy actually is to make the TP to stop this. And that'll give some space over to Pile Die in the bottom lane. So the exact same thing they did last game, where Pile have a chance to get a 6 around the 10-minute mark.
This is insane. I mean, Matuma Man has so much farm. He's top the net worth. He's probably got his Midas already, or at least he's close to it. He actually just got an extra bounty rune with the Savage Roar from the bear. That's pretty funny. Meanwhile, DC's going to go for a TP. They have last, so they will use it. The Firefly will come out, and that will be a secured kill, although the Snowball will save him for a moment, but not much more than a moment. He will try to get it to the high ground, and Kuro is going to get this kill. Maybe it's going to be my kill. Another kill going for Liquid.
Yeah, it doesn't even waste his charges. But, yeah, Matuma Man, I thought they put more pressure on him, but they have left him completely alone. They haven't found a way to deal with him in the slightest. They kind of traded for their own Beastmaster, but
Envy is in
Ohio
trouble.
still hasn't done anything.
They Shadow Word him up. They have no golem. He's level 5. They might actually turn this around. GH is going to be on the run. He's going to use his phase boots. He speeds on out of there. Almost a good turn coming in. Ohio's going to walk through looking for a target. Mind control. He has a TP scroll. They need the roar. They have the hawk.
They used it on.
I think he's just gone. They have no golem. And that is just everybody getting away, other than Kuro at least.
Yeah, he roared Kuro.
For Fnatic. That's it.
Gave him the kill there. But, I mean, that's your first kill with this Beastmaster. And you traded that for a Midas Lone Druid with 2,500 gold. Not a good trade.
I mean, and Miracle is still farming out of his mind, too.
Yeah.
Point.
But like Ohio needs a big impact kill. It can't be a Winter Wyvern. Like he needs to smoke mid and roar Miracle. He needs to find him doing ancient stacks or something. I can't see this being enough. The next roar is now 35 seconds away, and that means top will just get denied because Matama Man, he didn't go down. Miracle didn't go down. The pressure is not being relieved at all, and you've got a 5k lead at 11.5 minutes.
With a Beastmaster, they have level 4 Call of the Wild. They have Roar. And yes, you do have an Ovid Storm Spirit, and he is in fact going Bloodstone, so maybe the late game is a bit better, but it's not like Envy's getting that much farm also. I mean, he's a little bit behind that of the Batrider, which is, I guess...
And Liquid is the one. They've shrined up. They're smoking mid. Like, they're still going to keep this pressure going.
Dead, I think. They have the Archer coming in. He's going to get silenced up. The goal might be able to turn this around. Rocket Barrage more than enough damage for Miracle. Now Pilot Eye is going to be next. And he will get dropped. A Splinter Blast and a double kill for Miracle, is now dominating. Abed is in with the Ball Lightning. They're going to try to turn this around. Kuroki, he has the Cold Embrace. He will get dropped down by the Remnant. Now they might find more here. It's going to be a 2 for 2, but again, they lose Ohio for this. Abed does have an Arcane Rune. Maybe wanted to chase down Miracle, but again, Matama Man is now in. He's got the Bear with him. He does plenty of damage. Mind Control still has Last to work with. He's going to try to find it. Good Remnant away, rather Ball Lightning away from Abed to get out of trouble. And that could have gone more disastrously, although I think, yeah, I mean, it could have gone a lot worse, I think, for Fnatic, but it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, could have been, for sure. I mean, there was a very nice ward. It just died, but it was placed in here in the middle lane. That's what they smoked into wards. It let them get the instant initiation on top of Ohio. So I think it was like a 400 gold advantage for Fnatic overall, just because they're down so much. So not bad, but they're also missing the tier 1 mid. This is going to lower the safe area farming for Abed. It kind of takes away these 2 camps on the Radiant side for him as well. So... He's gonna have a couple issues, and speaking of towers falling, bottom is about to go down, and he's got Relic Gold.
Is in trouble. The call down is gonna come in. There's the silence. The Shadow Word will keep him alive, but not for much longer. He's gonna get dropped by the Firefly of Mind Control. Miracle will get the last auto attack. If they mega kill and Pilot Die will fall yet again.
Hey,
Mind Control now dominating.
Do you remember when they stole all their ancient stacks?
Yeah.
That's gonna happen again. Like they've picked another hero that can abuse this, because like Envy teams have always been ancient stack abusers. It's been like a big part of him, and now Kuro's gonna spot it. He's like, oh hey guys, look, it's an ancient stack. Oh look, we picked another hero that can farm ancients. Isn't that convenient?
Flat Cannon's up. It's level 3. I mean, Matama Man's just pushing bottom too, so there's not much anything they can do. They can get this tier 1 tower top lane, but they need to rotate. They cannot keep the ancient stack alive. I'm almost certain this is gonna get taken down by Liquid, but maybe.
Don't worry, Abed is farming the ancients on the dire side.
Yes,
as he gets rooted. Don't worry, he stacked it for them too.
Oh, how nice.
That's very kind.
He's going to get the Prowler Shaman at least. Ah, he actually takes so much damage though from the armor reduction coming out. GH is, by the way, Invis, and he has Crippling Fear, and it is nighttime. And Abed might be dead if he's not careful.
Oh, he's so low on mana. Oh, he's dead.
The Void. And the Crippling Fear will come out. Meanwhile, Miracle gets
Team
mid lane. Roar comes in, but Abed's still low. Maybe they turn this. Ice Shard Snowball coming in. Abed trying to get some auto attack. Rocket Barrage coming in, but he can run. He's actually so low on mana. He needs a wand charge. He's got 2 wand charges in about a second here. Still going to get dropped, I think. Yes, a double kill for Miracle as he rotates in. Ohio's trying to man fight Kuro. That's not going to work out. He gets dropped as well. And all the meanwhile, Matama Man is just farming bottom.
Yeah, he has, I think the Radiance is done. I think the recipe's on the courier, yeah. He can just fly to himself. But Miracle needs his Maelstrom first, of course.
Oh. Pardon me, says Matama Man. Let me get that Maelstrom for you. I'll have the Radiance coming
Dude, if
out.
DJ gets this courier, that would be so god tier.
There's no way. I don't want to say there's no way. That's
wait, he just sent the bear home. I think he forgot to get it. I think he meant to get the Radiance recipe.
Unfortunate. DJ's going to run into GH here. GH doesn't see him, obviously. Courier's coming. Maybe you're right. Maybe I spoke way too soon. In fact, I'm sure I did. But I still think this is going to be tough. Instead, he's going to walk out. Courier won't spot him. Or rather, DJ will not spot the courier, I don't believe.
It's definitely
Maybe
what he
we're
was
out.
hunting for. Doesn't feel like there's much else he'd be doing here.
Well, he's not going to see it, so. All right, there's a 7K lead. I think it's pretty big. It feels like it could be bigger for Fnatic, but...
No.
but I don't
Look at
know.
this dire ward. It's in here so early on in the game. They see the Tusk, they see the Warlock. They have a smoke in the Warlock's inventory, and they have level 6. So they're just like, okay, hey, look, they're trying to make a play. So now you know there's probably a lot of dire Radiant heroes up in this area. If they're rotating up that way, and yep, there's the circle from GH. He's like, hey
And, you know,
guys,
Envy's
I think they're all there.
too. They can't really get... I mean, Envy can't get up to the top lane, so they need to be careful if you're Fnatic, too. He's just sitting and farming bottom. There's no tier 1 tower to TP into. Maybe the Shrine, but there is a ward that will scout out Mind Control and the rest of Liquid. Miracle and Kuroki walk up into it. The scan does hit, though. I mean, they know Abed is over here farming these camps, or at least somebody's here. They will smoke, of course.
I think their smoke is going to be spotted or something if they end up smoking here. But so, like, the Radiant also know the Dire are moving through here, so...
They're going to... I mean, they're just back. They're not going to do anything with the smoke. They realize that this has probably been thwarted for Fnatic. Maybe they rotate in the jungle this way. They see Kuroki, but they know the rest of them are top lane. And Kuroki's, by the way, de-warding here, so...
Liquid have just done so much to ruin this game for Fnatic. Like, stealing that Ancient stack is just so massive against the Bristleback.
Kuro will get off the Cold Embrace. The ball lighting in. Abed a little bit low on mana now.
I think that missed.
Dangerous.
He didn't get the ball damage.
Twilight Eye is going to get dropped. I don't think he gets the golem off. He's going to get silenced. They should have enough damage. He won't be able to get it through. And that'll be 28 seconds run on the sideline. Meanwhile, on the top lane, they're going to take down Ohio. I mean,
Have you ever heard of the term disaster?
Going to be next. There's the last thing at the Firefly. And this is going to be a disaster potentially. Maybe they can get mind control, but Envy's taking so much damage. The homing missile, the Firefly, he's burning to death. And it's a double kill from Atuma Man, and it just gets worse and worse for Fnatic as DJ is going to get destroyed. Ice Shard's coming in, will not be able to save him, and Fnatic are getting run over here in this second game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's just like everything's going so well for them, honestly.
Radiant's
I don't know how things could go any better. And things like, I don't know, you're balling from like your former mid-tier 1 to here. You don't even hit the ball. Kuro just lives and you kill the Warlock. They haven't used the golems yet. They haven't had a good roar into summons this whole game. Liquid are just so ahead of the movements.
Maybe they get the bear. Oh no, the Savage Roar. This bear's gonna live. That's depressing. You're so close. And it's like everything that can go wrong will go wrong for Fnatic at this point, essentially. It just feels out of control.
Got a regen rune on Storm. Maybe we could find something. I'm trying here, guys. You know.
Yeah,
I'm giving a little bit of regen rune. Yeah, don't have a
he's
tier
gonna have
1
Bloodstone
mid. Don't
here in a
have
minute.
a bottom tier 1 gone yet.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, Bloodstone, regen rune. This is what Abed does to get back into the game. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very tough. Got some bongos on Envy. He gave up on his Radiant streams.
Actually, no, he is in quick buy still. I think he bought it, the drums, but he's still trying to get to that Radiance. He's hoping one day, soon, he will have enough money to buy a Radiance. It's not looking likely, though. But, they will have a Shadow Blade for Beastmaster. I mean, every movement they've made for Fnatic has just been... It's been spotted, and it's been seen, and there's not anything they can do, really, about it. I mean, they just get split pushed down. This has been typical Liquid taking control of the map, getting things done with GH and Kuro in the early game, getting mind control super farmed. They have everything they need pretty much to be able to start getting these tier 2 towers and perhaps Roshan as well, as they now have this side gunner available for the Gyrocopter. Liquid. With that, they will smoke up, they will try to find a target. So too will Fnatic, though. They will make their way over towards the Roche.
This is the recovery move I was just about to mention. Like, they have to go for a Roche. You get an Aegis on the Storm Spirit. This might be a way to win this game. It's terrifying against this dire lineup, but Liquid don't see it coming, considering how much...
They're just going to get pushed in, though. The tier 3 tower, I mean, Summit Man's already up to the high ground with the bear, and he's going to know there's nobody here. Liquid are smoked right behind him. They have to know that there are some people at the Roshan. I mean, they're going to try to get the stages, and they will, but they will lose this tier 3 tower potentially. I mean, Miracle has already started to do some damage. They'll see the Envy back. They'll get the tier 3. It is Roche, I suppose, for Fnatic, but now they might lose this melee Rax as Envy is trying to do anything that he can. They'll pop the rabbit, the battle cry, they will jump in, and they can't even get the bear before it takes down the rack. The bull will come through. Remember, Man has another bear to work with anyway, so does it really matter? Probably not. They get the silence on the Abed, who, by the way, is an arcane root. They want GH. They might find him. He has Hunter the Knight. He can get to the low ground. Ohio jumps in. He's got the roar. There's the Winter's Curse. They'll jump in with the golem on top of it. Maybe they can get the scale mind control. They'll get the last off in time, and Abed is going to be next to the Savage Roar. The silence is up. That's the age is gone, and they haven't gotten anything for Fnatic. In fact, it's a double kill for Miracle. The side gunner coming in. It's the Rax and Liquid. They're about to just, I think, 2-0 this series rather quickly, and stylish fashion as well. Ugh.
Where? Oh, it just went down that fast, eh? Jeez.
Yep. You mean the ages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is rough. But very nice play from Liquid. They made that rotation through the middle. Like, you saw there was a line drawn where they wanted to cut mid, and when they didn't find anyone, and you saw how far Matame had pushed the wave at that point because the Radiance is... I think Abed's fine. Man, is he going to deny himself? He's going to deny himself.
I think he's dead. I'm pretty sure. The silence is just rough. That silence is brutal, man. That was just like a Night Stalker on his own, pretty much, just taking down Abed. He's back at 5. I mean, he has Bloodstone, which is great, but they've taken another Tier 3 tower in the mid lane. They've got a full set of ranks bottom. There's a Radiance Assault Cuirass bear named El Doge, which is the man's bear's name. It's classic.
But yeah, back to that, like that whole rotation, because they check through here, because there were heroes in the mid from Fnatic. So they go through, they don't find anyone. Matame pushes the Tier 3, and they just go, okay, maybe they are in Roche, but who cares? Like, we'll just take their full set of racks. Absolutely brutal. And Abed has no mana.
He has no mana. He's going to get last. Good snowball, but he's still in trouble. Another silence, and that is another death for Abed. Dead for 26. At this point, he's trying to find whatever he can. Good Winter's Curse, and Envy is just beating on DJ. Find himself a kill, and then here comes the AC. Jumped up. They're going to try to find the skull. They have the Roar. Miracle in trouble, but he gets Earn and Cold Embrace, and he's still alive somehow. It's a double kill. A dominating spree from a Temple Man.
Please kill this guy.
I mean, at this point, they're just running in. They're dying back. It's a triple kill from a Temple Man. And there's not much left in the tank here if you are Fnatic. They're trying their damnedest, but they continue to lose fights, and it is now a 24k network lead for Liquid.
Abed just makes a big zip. I can't find anyone teeping out in the trees or anything. So that's a 10, 0, and 8 Gyrocopter, a 5, 0, and 7 Lone Druid, and both of them over 15k net worth as they split the gold on the Dire side, and they're both doubling up Abed.
So, Trent, I suppose the question to ask now is where does this all go wrong for Fnatic?
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
No rotations from the Beastmaster, no ultis from the Warlock in the early game. They lost their Ancients
As they were stolen away, they lost their towers so early they couldn't defend their Ancients. I wouldn't even say it was so... Well, yeah, actually, you know what? There were a lot of mistakes from Fnatic. I think they couldn't capitalize on anything. They didn't make those early game maneuvers, and obviously Liquid are just... They had so much early game vision. Like, this Night Stalker's just running around inside because he's so tanky, and he's just placing down these wards. Like, when they killed Envy at the Ancients that they're at now earlier, they had a ward down. And then they just rotate through, they find the other Ancients, they destroyed the towers so early on that they didn't really give them a chance to have that bounce back with the Bristleback, and Envy just felt like nothing this game.
Dude, the vision advantage, like you were just talking about, has been absurdly good for Liquid in terms of what they've been able to accomplish because of it. Literally all the moves Liquid have made in the first like 20 minutes of this game were mostly due to great vision coming out from GH and the rest of Liquid, getting some excellent sentries down, getting some excellent observer wards down like you talked about. And Fnatic, this time they might not get spotted. They will run in, they have a smoke of deceit, but it feels like Liquid are ready. Mind Control will see this first. There's the Roar. Kuroki in trouble, forced his way in trouble. Abed, they've got the golem dropped down. That's one dead hero. Maybe they can at least get more out of this. But to man, I sharded up, but Envy really doesn't have enough damage. They need way more. They have no more Roar to work with. There's the Roar response. They have the Frozen Vigil, and Miracle is in. The side gunner, the Rocket Barrage, he immediately gets a double kill. He gets a triple. He's going to get an ultra kill, and that is it. Good game is called. Liquid will move on, a 2-0 victory. Absolutely dominant performance here for Team Liquid.
Yeah. Total destruction. Just completely outplayed. I would say maybe outdrafted a bit too. Just didn't look like Fnatic could really get their stride. And like their game plan just never came together. And you know, you can't even say outdrafted because they didn't get to play their draft, honestly. They didn't do a level 6. Like, there was no level 7 gank for the Beastmaster. There was no early Warlock ulti. I really feel like it's that simple. Like, it felt like they had a step-by-step kind of draft, and